So in this video I'm going to be analysing how you can master the art of the tackle, not just from an execution point of view, but also looking at the mental and tactical aspects as well. But before we come on to the more advanced topics, let's break down how to actually perform different types of tackles. First of all, the most common tackling technique is going to be when there is a 50-50, or at least close to a 50-50, where both you and the opposition player are a similar distance away from the ball, and a standing tackle is probably most appropriate. Getting to the ball first is obviously the most important part, but also is the part of your foot you contact the ball with. Ideally, you want to be going with the instep of your foot, locking your ankle to avoid injury, and using your body weight as momentum to drive through the ball. And this comes from leaning slightly forward, as leaning backwards in a standing tackle is going to mean that you are vulnerable to the opposition player's momentum coming through and knocking you off the ball. Also, you need to be going into the challenge 100% fully committed, which is essential, as even the slightest hesitation or pulling out can give your opponent the advantage. Now, when you connect with the ball using your instep, you are likely coming from under the ball. However, you could also use a different technique, but this time by putting your studs on the top of the ball, coming from an upward position, as now you have gravity on your side and it's going to make it incredibly hard for the opposition player to generate enough force to drive through your tackle. However, be careful, as a mistimed tackle here could lead to a red card with your studs going over the ball and connecting with the opposition player, so this does have to be timed perfectly. Although sometimes the best method of winning possession isn't even via a tackle, but instead by putting your body between the player and the ball and using your upper body strength to protect the ball before then turning and driving off. But while staying on your feet is optimal and something you should always try to do, sometimes if the play is stretched and an attacker is driving away from you at pace, a sliding tackle may be the best tool in your arsenal. Now, if you are coming from behind, you're going to have to make sure that the attacker and the ball isn't too far ahead of you, just about maybe 2 or 3 steps. Otherwise, unless you have freakishly long legs like Wan-Bissaka, you are likely going to take the man before the ball, usually resulting in a yellow card. But a better position to slide from is horizontally, as this gives you a greater angle towards the ball. Timing is crucial, and that can really only be developed from game experience and understanding your own tackling technique. But if that is nailed down, then you want to be going to ground leaning on the opposite side of your hip to the foot that you are tackling with, providing you with a secure foundation to then wrap your leg and foot around the ball and play it cleanly. Now, usually you are going to be tackling with your outside leg, but you can also do it with the inside leg as well, just like Aaron Wan-Bissaka did against Wilfried Zaha, where he went with his right foot, which was closest to the player and the ball. But this is a lot harder to pull off, and Wan-Bissaka's timing of the tackle, combined with his long legs, allowed him to pull off this kind of spider-like recovery tackle to stop Zaha running through on goal. But tackling isn't just about the execution of the actual tackle. For example, if you're in a 1v1 situation against a skillful and quick attacker, jockeying can be the most effective solution rather than diving in and committing yourself. Jockeying is just holding up the player with the ball by standing side on, around 60 degrees with both shoulders facing the ball. You want to be on the balls of your feet with your heels off the ground, allowing you to shift your body weight and react quickly to the attacker's movements. The longer you're able to hold up the attacker, the more time your teammates around you have to get back into their position, a tactical way of halting the counter-attack. However, if the attacker commits to taking you on, you also need to be prepared to put in a tackle as well. Now, you want to stay on your feet as long as possible and avoid committing to a tackle whilst an attacker is attempting a skill move like a step over or a drag back. Ideally, wait for the opportunity when there's a wayward touch or the attacker gets a ball caught under their feet. Knowing the attacker you are up against is also a massive advantage, depending on the area of the pitch you are in as well. If the attacker is a right footer who's likely going to be looking to cut inside from the left and shoot with his right foot, then showing the attacker down the line onto their left foot is probably going to be the best option. Whereas if the attacker is on the side of their stronger foot, showing them down the outside may result in a shot or cross into the box. And so in this scenario, being in a position to anticipate the touch down the outside, or even showing them on the inside onto their weaker foot, is probably the best option. So thank you for watching. If you enjoyed that video, remember to subscribe to the channel and check out some of our other videos as well.